Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mikhail from Yahweh Games. Gonna listen to a little bit of Journey and some 80s stuff, some 90s stuff. And purpose and intention of this video is to make our character, who we have some animation on him, we're gonna make him get hit. Okay? And I think we should get started. What do you think? So one of the things that I like to do is cheat, right? So I got this character. I really like my character. I'm gonna, we gotta save our file, so let's go ahead and save it, and we're gonna call this hit 00. Hit 00, right? This is our first hit. There's a couple things we could do. I'm just going over my head. There's more than one way to tackle the situation. Way number one is we have this character. We can actually import the same exact character in, throwing the attacks, and have him get hit. That's one way of doing it. Second thing we can do is just make a new biped and take his figure mode and apply his figure mode to that biped. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's probably the quickest way of doing things. I mean, you're going to have to import and load and all that stuff anyway, so might as well learn how to do a new method. So I'm going to take my character, I'm going to put him in figure mode, motion panel, figure mode. Now he's in T-pose. I'm going to save him. And I should save him as, I'm just going to save him as base mesh. Okay. And hit save. I'm not worried about naming convention because this is not going to other people. This is really only for me. So now I can put him out of figure mode and load a new biped in. Okay. So if I go left view, or front view, sorry, and I'm just going to do one of these. I'm going to put him in figure mode and hit load, just like this. I'm going to hit base mesh. So there he is, new guy. Put him in move all mode. We can put him over here. What is going on? Why can't I move him all of a sudden? Oh, because he's in figure mode. Right, move all mode only works in non-figure mode. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our original guy, then we're going to turn off move all mode. You'll notice, if he's in figure mode, we'll just use this guy. If he's in figure mode and I hit open, I can load or save a .fig file. That's if this button is on. But seeing as the button is off, like in this case, I have animation on this guy from 0 to 100. So with the figure mode button off, I can actually save the animation as a BIP file. And I'm going to call this CHHM idle, but this is going to be called base mesh. And I'm going to call this punch as, instead of ATK, like this is for the future if I ever need it again. Okay, save segment and current animation position and rotation. Turn off keyframe at every frame, and just press this button just in case we're missing something. So it's going from 0 to 100. Hit save. I'm going to load those animations into this guy. Just like this. And so I got two bipeds. They're right on top of each other, and they're doing the same exact thing, guys. I'm going to take the one that we just loaded in the character. I'm going to do move all mode. I'm going to move him like this. I'm going to rotate him 180 degrees. Like this. Collapse it down. Okay? Now, for this guy, I'm actually going to select 100 all the way to frame 1 and delete all his animation. I'm leaving the idle pose. Okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to move over to frame 5. Look at that. He's landing the hit right in his stomach. So homeboy needs to react like he's getting punched in the stomach. So how are we going to do that? Well, turn our animate button on and get to going. So, you know, his fist is a ways off, but excuse me, you don't have to tweak this and move it closer. Just use your imagination and know he's a little bit of ways away and just collapse his stomach down. Right? And then we're going to go hands. Select both hands at the same time. Whoops. Okay, Let's open up the elbows. Okay. I'm going to look down. He is not comfortable right now. And then just go like this. And that's his hit. Really, that's it. So we're transitioning from this to this, right? But it's a little bit more than that. A little bit more. I could tell you, most being hit animations have a minimum of a 5-frame return. This is something you and your program are going to have to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this from 5 to 10. So now he goes back to idle. Okay. And also, just like we discussed in the previous video, when your character makes contact, and in this case, this blue biped, this guy right here, his attack is supposed to hold that pose for 5 frames. If that's the case, your character being hit also needs to hold that pose for 5 frames. By the way, we're going to go ahead and move him down a little bit. Oh, actually, I forgot I do have a little bit more of a method to doing this. He actually goes the other way. He goes up, like that. You'll see. So he's going to go up. And then we're going to return to idle. We're going to do at frame 7. We're going to copy frame 5 to 7. Actually, he might end at frame 13. So let's go ahead and do this. So now what we're going to do is make him recoil. Memories remain. Okay, so he's recoiling. Let's rotate him and buckle him a little farther, and then send him down. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Ooh! Then he tries to recoil and recover. Now I try to bring his head up a little faster. And then his other hand, maybe 1 frame behind the other one. All right, but you know, it kind of works. It's working. Like, so if I hit play, if I go over here to frame 20, just to kind of see what's happening, right? But we want it to snap. So what we're going to do is we're going to move frame 5. We're going to copy it to frame 1, so it'll look like this now. Watch. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do continuity. Pelvic bone doesn't need to do a whole heck of a lot. I mean, like, I could rotate it slightly. That'd be fine. Hyperextension a little bit. He's hurt, you know. It's gonna throw it off a little bit. Okay, got both legs, got the pelvis. Oh, we're gonna need to do our 3 tracks for the root bone. Right? Start over. Let's grab frame 5 and copy it to frame 1. So now when you see him, look at the difference. What's actually going to happen is I'm going to export this from 1 to 13. And what's going to happen is this is going to become a state. This is a being hit state. So it needs to interrupt the previous state because the hit landed, it made contact. It needs to interrupt whatever he was doing before, whether he was walking or running or trying to punch as a counter. Okay, so he's going to start here, duck down. And as a matter of fact, I can probably slow it down just a little bit. .15 frame return is pretty good. Okay, now we got to do the other one. Like, technically, we're done. We've done the idle, for the deployment. We've done the idle for garrison. We've done attacks 1 and 2, and we've done being hit 1. I'm going to move on and do a walk cycle and show you guys how I handle a walk. How about we do that? So let's go ahead. Oh, and at this point, right, guys, we don't even need this dude anymore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it anyways if I want to come back and do another hit. So let's go ahead and stop the video and move on to a walk cycle.